there's not. If there were,
in our quest to bring to the table issue-based, welcome you into the Situation Room as we continue to build
to the plight of these people. Mr. President, there is nowhere I can say it except here. This is what
to make their political decisions constant demand for everyone's dream. Join Oᴏᴜᴜ Akínyode as it governance and leadership every Monday to Friday from Focus the Situations.
To 4 tanker explosions in Nigeria. Guess what? Twice of that number have perished in the last 2 years. In more than half a decade, tragedy had feasted on many human bodies in many Nigerian states in their countless attempts to scoop fuel from overturned tankers. Ask yourself, is it worth the risk? The answer is a resounding no. Scooping fuel from an overturned petrol tanker is not just risky, it is downright suicidal. Petrol, diesel, kerosene, and gas are highly flammable. One spark and disaster strikes. Ignorance or hardship cannot justify putting your own life on the line to stay alive. Whenever you see an overturned tanker of people attempting to scoop fuel, flee immediately or alert the relevant authority otherwise. Remember, fuel scooping is deadly. Don't take the risk. Stay alive, be alive, and live.
Hey, kids, get ready for a day filled with fun and excitement. On 31st of August, let's party together. Join us at Mela 98.3 FM at 10 a.m. prompt as we celebrate the beauty and uniqueness of each child. Mother of the day, the fabulous Mama Rainbow, who will be joining us. Get your tickets for just 3,000 naira. What can you expect at the party? Delicious food, refreshing drinks, exciting gifts, face painting, and wonderful memories. For inquiries and ticket purchase, call Amida at 0812-520-9759. Our wonderful partners, Aspera Nigeria Limited, Bobo Foods and Beverages, Blythe and Calendars. Grab your tickets and let's make the children you there.
you fail. I wish there were other ways, but there's not.
We have made 4 to 5:30 p.m. Monday to Friday the perfect time to welcome you into the Situation Room as we continue to build
to the plight of these people. Mr. President, there is nowhere I can say it except here. This is why I'm elected. If I cannot say these things on this floor, sir.
Leadership from those they voted into office. Me Akínyode as it takes to task. Seasoned leadership every Monday to Friday from Focus the Situations.
A very good evening to you. Welcome to it's been a while. I had still trying to keep your your attentions on events and happenings around you. If you snooze, you miss out. Over the weekend, the presidents are trending. Just always, I don't know what you think about that. I don't know how the people handling the information of Mr. President are trying to super excited about, but then more importantly, that we have life had not been as as good as PDP at 16. So put it together ourselves in the midst of some of the most difficult things we've ever had to face as a nation. It's nothing to be excited about. From 2 political parties, actually, a measure of the ACN, the Congress that was registered in February 24. It's been from one problem to the other side of the All Progressive Congress. They've got the highest number. The virtual date of the party, larger 6 years, as bad as the PDP conversation. The wave of rep member, the governor of Akwa Ibom State to resolve, president is supposed to allow the delegate to. And maybe Wike felt beat. He said that looked at this calculation. It's been a case of governors that interfere into their affairs. Boy, I know every single time he's out to ask, he says make quick references that Saraki left the PDP, came back. That has been his position. But if you look at the chaos within the People's Democrats, just watch the interview of meeting of the NEC and the of the party going for. Remember Senator Bukola Saraki, PDP governors like Sheyima State as the host governor was also there. The man that is carrying the ego of a million is a member of the people. Some say that the PDP is holding him on the show, is always reconcile the members in the PDP. What would the PDP be selling? And that is how well. If you're meeting me for the very first like these, It's been a while.
Good evening,
Okay. It's always a pleasure to see and answer us. Thank you. The journey had been for the people. Agree that WİKE being at all of the chaos that the PDP is going through at the
intro, very robust with that. Has been in democracy for the critical we learned. What experiences have we gathered? And the ultimate development internal democracy. There is lack of social problem, of lack of internal provisions. Do not respect the rules. He who holds it. The party now slip off the fingers of PDP to the extent that set the template for a political party to begin to when they had not looked for provision for. And then since then a lot by the then government that was in power. Talk about was so huge because the government of the then president of the PDP and they wanted to go back. But unfortunately, forward to 2023, a lot of insinuations about insider compromises, so many insinuations about insider dealing that recall that following the enactment of the election for a particular office, changed the modus operandi in the party primary. That was one of hoping and thinking that PDP will be true to its promise and zone a lot of text about that in the standard presidency, in a manner of speaking, enjoy in quote. On the southeast, that had not produced presidential ticket to the south, and because of the ambition of someone which ultimately ended up throwing that ticket and law. That act would have caught it with the Labour Party. The Labour Party now became stood very solidly behind him. Love and respect from Mr. Peter Obi were more than people who started using Mr. Peter of Africa. At the convention, you recall, you made mention of this briefly in your prologue, how behind Alhaji Atiku Abubakar that now brought the political enmity swore never to work with the PDP ever that emerged. That and then got under when they had already presented all their manifestos and he now swayed the vote of his supporters.
His delegates.
Well, someone like Peter Obi had emerged then, because with all the sufferings that Nigerians went through on option, earlier or now with the benefit of but as we speak, the horse has bolted of anybody. Do
my homework really well. So both of us are ahead of the 2023 presidential election, and we knew all of them. Take advantage of the in quotes mala PDP about to deal with, especially from the fallout of that primaries, and then the old backstabbing according to how the WİKE group ticket. There were a lot of governors that also didn't, Atiku received the flag bearer of his party at the presidential level. That is how our Governor Tom openly endorsed Peter Obi as the candidate of these issues right now. There's been the issue of the National Secretary meeting was stakeholders, the BOT, kicked against Senator Ayaun. Then Mr. Setonji Koshodo came up on the scene. Remember this, but now let's come back to maybe the last line, or let me say the last trick that the PDP is throwing into the battle. The 7-man committee that was set up and is being headed by the former Senate President, Senator Bukola Saraki, falling apart and the center cannot hold. How optimistic are you about this request to return, as the national scribe of the party? Do you PDP is facing currently?
Well, you know that in every reconciliation effort, you want to reconcile, must first and foremost be ready to be reconciled, shift ground. Because there can never be any reconciliation when everybody, then the reconciliation cannot work. Who is naturally deeply asleep. He will not wake up. He will just open his squintly, open part of his eye, and say that you are not coming with something that will hurt him. Because that position was zoned to the North Central, where the former chairman Yᴏᴜᴛ hails from. And when you just hold the position for a short while the party, but ever since that day till today, Adamago has remained in that position as acting chairman, weakest man. And I guess Wike is bent on holding the party to the jugular because he felt that the party was unfair to him. Remember that after the 2019 election, during election, most of the leaders of the party now politics, and some of them even left the clothes available to him to maintain the party, to the extent that he was going to other states to go and fight them almost single-handedly to ensure that what happened in 2023 was a backstab and giving him and of course, with hindsight, one can say that he succeeded. Meanwhile, many observers also believe that PDP governors, under PDP governors, among the 7 governors, and that was why he considered to settle for, will not support him at the primary. So he agreed with them, agreement, and took Tᴜɪᴛᴛᴇʀ as running mate. Already by then, there will be conditions given to Abacha and the provisions of the Electoral Act. So it happened like this because the other thing happened like that. At the end of the day, PDP continued to struggle. And that it continued senators, members of House of Rep, members of House Assembly, and other party that could determine the direction of the APC. It is a study of the leaving PDP and be moving to APC. Crisis in the leadership of the party. And why is it unending? It is unending because of rules. It is unending because of lack of respect and to conform with due dropping or nothing. In position of authority in most of the states in the federation, and is in position of authority in the majority of the dish out, they have a lot to compensate. Members of PDP are there. They are putting them with contracts, national assembly members, provision them second ticket, express tickets,
for the courts, the sinners amongst
PDP. But these are the reasons why. Then they had only one problem. In one Mr. Lamidi, Papa side down, and mainstream members of the party claimed or alleged that Papa has been settled, that he has finished, and to the extent that he was in his position, and yet the battle is still raging. I'm saying, are we drifting towards a one-party state? Observers are saying, nominated in one party, you can very easily go to another party. But it is job. It takes out, and the next day, your party is standing. Because of the highness view that majority of Nigerian electorate do not know their left from their right, or are not expect that even when they vote, their votes don't count. No matter to vote, they will be interested in what is happening in the political parties that are asking for vote. The opposition political parties are finding it. The mainstream parties like the PDP and Labour that did not allow the mouth to see the main opposition parties, the PDP and Labour Party, will continue to trail even another of lack of political ideology in Nigeria. So everything runs in politics. Is it service to the people, or is it service to yourself, or is it lining your make good name for the generations yet to go parties for Nigeria? Unkind power, instrumentalities of economic and financial for the benefit of the people, and not.
I mean, you've touched conversation. You've also talked about the next one, the Senator Nemandi. Ask you if you also share from this school of thoughts. The former governor, the immediate past governor of Kaduna PC, and joined the SDP, pushing for the conversation around this. A lot of big political, heavyweight and stakeholders will probably join to be any part of any coalition. The People's Democratic Party. So it looks like the whole idea of the coalition. This is May already. before we say Jack Robinson, we've gotten into the coalition, we see the light of day. And seeing the light of day, do you think it will be strong enough, equipped enough?
It's facing the politician coalition who will discussions around leadership, a formidable political party. I know where their problem was coming from. They go to a coalition. Yeah. So that they don't jump out from frying pan to a raging fire. That, if only politicians would seek to stand in favor of the growth and development of the country and for the wealth. The challenges of insecurity we have to, the same lack of political will is affecting everything that we do as a nation. In terms of families and the family seem to see the problems. But once they come out of power, the people who have been in charge of authorities in Nigeria since 1999, everybody will tell you that the problem is coming from. Everybody will want to pass the buck to the next person. At most, they will tell you, I am no longer in power. I've been a champion of restructuring, even from the days of the... That is the issue. Whenever he comes down from the exalted office, he will begin to see, he will go back to it. He will begin to see, when we had the authority to put them in place. Is it the market woman or the student or the artisan that will put the fish get bad from the head? If the head is good, the body politics will be development. The head must lead and lead very clearly so that the body politics will not be rotten. As many more, nobody is talking about the restructuring. Nobody is talking about decentralization of power at the state police. The one that they have even gotten very close, that is a low-hanging fruit, the institutionalization of the state government. So advise on that. Advise positively. That one of the major things that we will need to curb the problems of insecurity in Nigeria. National unity, a very big menace to the freedom and life of the people, will tell you that it is almost impossible to police the entire federation, this that they will incur on account of state police, utilized by the incumbent governors to withstand the opponents. And you now ask, how many opponents does every incumbent governor have? Security of life and property of the people vis-a-vis the interest, political interest of the so-called opponents. But what is matter why they have swept the issue of state police under the carpet? So you know the third problem. Even in the face of, and until we buckle up, so endemic, it may even consume the major political fabric of the nation. I hear you say, God forbid. I concur, God forbid.
Well, that if we continue on this same political line, we just may ruin every rule as the political class would always choose to. Then we are real Tuesday. Last week, Monday, Professor Patutomi was on the show, and then he talked about this issue that you also talked about, the statement with Nigerian politicians, that because they don't have ideology, that a typical Nigerian take his dinner in the Labour Party. That is how flexible, so my people said we should move. It is the interest of my people. I remember when the governor of Delta State was leaving the PDP, when he made that announcement. First off, he's one of the richest states in this country. It's an oil-producing state. They're getting the 13% from the derivation rights. That state doesn't look like a state that is getting so much money. Every tsunami that is brewing in the state is going to be interesting. There's also Omoagege that was a governorship candidate of the party in the last governorship, my own political future. Let me just align 23. Senator Ifeanyi is within the APC. We don't know if let's hope that it's how. is this reconciliation for the People's Democratic Party? You've also alluded to the fact that the PDP still has the largest opposition state. They still have Plateau State. They still have Oyo State. They still got a couple of states that is giving them as much strength as they can push forward. How vital stuff? Reunite the party. Secondly, bring back every member of the party that has left ahead of the next convention that is coming up. How vital is the achievement of these 4 key factors, not just for the country in this country, because at this rate, it looks like more governors will leave the party. It looks like this reconciliation committee. Let's wrap it up from there.
Yes, the issue of where they will get more, not find them attractive to join. The issue of bringing back the ones who have left may be very difficult because the attraction is finished. If they want to eat the cake, they have not finished the icing on the cake. So it may be difficult to put them back. More especially if this disunity is neither here nor there. It's a major problem. The likely that it is going to get Bukola Saraki led because there's no rain to fall on the salt. By the time the child gets to the marketplace, is there any salt to display anymore?
No.
The salt is gone for him to work with. At the end of the day, the people that he is reconciled that will be meaningful are the leaders of the party who themselves position they have taken or the other, or because of their political survival. Otherwise, the constitution becomes easy. Back to the leaders of PDP are pretending to be asleep. And no matter the efforts made, they will not wake up. Themselves know that they are irreconcilable because of the realities on ground. And the very moment they refuse to be reconciled on their lineup, may end up losing the party ticket to run for the second tenure. It now becomes easy for APC to put them, promise them automatic ticket, and they will move. Parallel leadership, where even INEC is not helping matters. You may end up your primary. Even if you are given automatic ticket, who will submit your name to?
The 2 states.
Yeah, the man you are standing with, maybe could be touched deeply. Now there is for the election and possibly have a second tenure. So especially those who are going to stand in for election for the second term.
So Sheymakin
may remain in PDP. All those other governors that are not going for any other election may remain in PDP. Better his position if this reconciliation does not proceed. That is the fate of that on their head. Is ceaseless. And
from your scope seems to be in a quagmire.
A very big one. A very, very big one. I think that with PDP, and the Nigerians have lost interest in it. It's like 6.5 It's like 6.5 So why would Nigeria, in the absence of clear political ideologies, why would an average Nigerian find fault with supporting English Premier League or enjoy themselves with La Liga instead of thinking about the development in Nigeria? And that
it's absolutely unfortunate, Barrister Fred Eyako. I mean, I kind of, hope that we would have a smooth conversation, and I'm happy that the network, took us super good. Last week Friday was a battle on the show, and I'm very, very happy. Well, Barrister Fred Eyako I've been looking at the issues within the PDP, other political parties, other opposition parties in Nigeria, and not just ahead of the 2027 election alone, but to further deepen the fiber matter and say, we have a 2-party state. Is that you are a Labour? We agree that we have 18 political parties, but in the real sense of it, how many of those political, even at their state houses of assembly seats? On the 11th of November 2023, we had in Imo, Kogi. Last year, September 2025 in Anambra State. I'm not even seeing the Labour Party. That is the party of the violation is this. If we say we're not sliding into a 1-party state, INEC registered 18 political parties. Where is the ADC? Why is Omoyele Show? These are parties that just appear on the ballot, but when it comes to the scheme of political conversations, these parties rarely exist in the minds of Nigerians. Sit an average Nigerian voter down. They will tell you it's either PPP because they have the state, they have senators, they also have House members. So that's the problem that we find ourselves. Barrister Fred Nzako, thank you so much for finding time to be with me on the Progressive Congress. According to what Malam Nasir Rufai said, he said the chaos in the Labour Party, the problems in the PDP, the quagmire within the NNPP as well, is being spoken. Hello? Hello? By the way, and he doesn't sound optimistic about the chances of the PDP putting the house in order. It looks like it's a roof that is not just leaking. It looks like it's an umbrella that will need a lot to be genuine reconciliation with the party. My guest just told you that the people that are supposed to fix the problem of the party are the ones generally fix the problem of the PDP without mentioning Atiku Abubakar. And Atiku Abubakar is strongly in support of the coalition. But the powers that be within the PDP, the strongest bloc of the party, which is the governors, are saying, we don't want mandate of reconciliation. Let's hope that it's going to be maybe the first of many steps into taking PDP back to the glory days. But as it is right now, over 80 senators for the ruling APC, over 200 reps members for the ruling APC, and they keep harvesting the governors in ones and in twos. It's going to be a long way back from the PDP. Try and call back 0913-600-0410. Let me allow you to join the conversation. Hello, good evening.
I'm a good listener to your program, seminar, but I've been trying, but not always going through. So
I'm glad. Okay.
Yes, sir. Just chipping in a little, just use the word there because there's no unity within them. And secondly, the issue of North and South issue, not again. But that's cool because he was so anxious of leading this country. He said that they're now going to move to ADC. Yes, it's ADC or whatever. And I don't need to know.
Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Welcome to Mainland FM.
Good evening. Yeah, my name is Chris. I'm calling from Ogudu.
You're welcome.
Thank you, sir. One thing I want people to know. If we look at this thing from the point of since 1999 to date, we have more Santana ruling. The Southwest alone, or just produced president for 8 years, produced vice president for 8 years, and have a president for 4 years now. That's 20 years put together. Africa was going to pick the tickets at that time. Where is the justice? After Jonathan had this, by 2027, the South would have had 18 years down the line. The PDP alone on their own produced a Jonathan and Obasanjo for how many years? 14 years. From the late that did only 2 years. So when they are talking of justice, injustice, or whatever, they should let people know that everybody is not fool. When they come on radio and start fooling people, everybody is not fool.
Never had more than 2 years of a northern president. That's the late Umaru Musa Yar'Adua. Obasanjo did years. That means of 16 years of PDP, they had only 2 years of a northern president. Now the APC are done 8 years for the north. Now they are doing 2 years already as the president.
Hello, Mr. Open.
You're welcome.
I greet you. Yes, good afternoon. My name is Shola. Number one, all this zoning. We need to go to competence. I know that like this man mentioned at the last caller, he made a valid point quite all right with the permutation. But the issue is that we should not just be looking at the sensation of Nigerians. Atiku in the first place is just somebody that is power drunk. You understand? In the sense that they have a large follower.
So should we, Mr. Shola, should we flip the coin? Should Atiku be Obi's running mate?
I know Atiku will not want to be running mate.
Atiku has been vice president for 8 years.
I think due to the president, we are going back to Egypt again.
Maybe nominate a running mate for Peter Obi, right?
Yes. Atiku should not be in the equation at all. He's talking of we are going back to Egypt. We need
Mr. Shola, that's for Atiku Abubakar's campaign on social media, and I tell you for a fact that for them is an all-year thing. Every single post, every single day, every single hour, I'm just talking based on the fact that I have. Hello, good evening.
You're
You're welcome, Mr. Okangbelina.
let people not come and tell me that Atiku is power drunk. Look, Okoyemi, if anybody wants to be in that place, even if it's a cement block that is there, yeah, I'll vote for him. But with the problem we have now is to remove the problem. When I never see something, that's what I will tell you. Okay, the only thing that we will do now, don't tell me that about Atiku or anybody. Anybody that can remove the president.
It was a case of anybody but Jonathan. And then I don't know how much of those decisions were living with the reality of some together on the 29th of May, right in this studio to have a experienced newspaper editor. I would have the former, zonal director of the NBC would also be with us in the studio live. So we'll have Mr. Joshua, good evening.
Good evening.
You're welcome.
Yeah, this is Joshua.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Book, Beatrice KG, thank you for your message. Thank you. Prince Leo Ozoma says, well done for the good job and thank you another party through a coalition with the Labour Party where they can make Peter be the flag bearer with the nod, but unfortunately they failed woefully and they've performed really bad. Prince Leo Ozoma from Isolo, thank you. John Bernardo, he says, I don't see the PDP. Nobody should take PDP serious again. Okay. Hello, Mr. Gaga Joshua. Oh. Okay, I hope we're not back to. Can we make this real quick?
Bro.
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Okay, yes. I think I can hear you now. No. We're struggling to, pick which of the calls we want to pick. And we're really pressed for time. Let's see if we can be lucky with this one. Hello, good evening.
You are lucky. I'm a lucky person. You see, PDP, like you are saying, the governors are they are not agreeing with the coalition. And nobody should say that Atiku is the vice president as the leader of the party since 1990. 1990 has been in politics, and he has the same masters that to rank guard Atiku. Let's not give us a shot, then come back to Southeast.
Thank you, Engineer Nee. And it's going to be an amazing time right at our vicinity, right here. There'll be a lot of food, drink, children, and of course, we've got some special set attractions, especially for the parents. The very respected Mama Rainbow is also going to be the mother of the day, so there's a lot for us to relax and celebrate. And by the time you're going home, you understand that it's absolute a token. We just have to, put in some gate fee to control the crowd because there's a lot from our sponsors. God willing, Right Honorable Abiodun James Faleke, the member representing Ikeja Federal Constituency, is that for anything else in the world. My name is O광 Akinde. Thank you so much, Barrister Fred Nzeako, for being my guest on the show today, and for everyone that called and all of the calls we couldn't pick. I'm sorry. We'll continue the conversation tomorrow, God willing. My God, we can't take it any longer. The pain is too much in this country. If the pain is really too much, then you should be ready to do the right thing. Stick around.